अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल
उपासकानां यदुपासनीयम् उपात्तवासं वटशाखिमूले तद्धाम दाक्षिण्यजुषा स्वमूर्त्यां जागर्तु चित्ते मम बोधरूपम् अद्राक्षम् अक्षीणदयानिधानम् आचार्यमाद्यं वटमूलभागे मौनेन मन्दस्मितभूषितेन महर्षिलोकस्य तमोनुदन्तं विद्राविताशेषतमो गणेन मुद्राविशेषेण मुहुर्मुनीनां निरस्य मायां दयया विधत्ते देवो महांस्तत्त्वमसीति बोधं ममाद्य देवो वटमूलवासी कृपाविशेषात्कृतसन्निधानः ओंकाररूपाम् उपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तमपाकरोतु अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकमहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयम् योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्य किल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् अमलरजतदेहं भाति चिज्योतिरेकम् हृदयकुहरमध्ये निष्कलं देवरूपं निकटपथिविचारैः वृत्तिभिः सादरेण सभयम् अभिवरेण्यं तेजसा दीप्यमानं करणतनुधियां यः प्रेरकस्वेन भासां कबलितजगदण्डः पिण्डमध्ये शयानः सकलहृदयवासः शाश्वतो ब्रह्मरूपः वितरतु परिशुद्धिं चेतसो नः शिवाख्यः We are in the 15th verse in Bhagavan's Ulladu Narpadu. Yesterday we gave a brief introduction to that verse. Actually, each verse is a way to call the mind back from the extrovertedness towards the self. Many places in talks, Bhagavan says the essence of Bhagavad Gita is Atma Samstham Manah Kritva Na Kinchidapi Chintayet. Make the mind abide in the self and do not initiate any thoughts. Na Kinchidapi Chintayet. And this is also the essence of yoga. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha Tada Drashtuhu Swarupe Avasthanam. So this is the essence, the cream. Somehow make the mind abide in the self. So this verse, 15th verse, the prakriya, the method used is to bring the mind to the present moment. Actually, people when they say about Vedanta, they say it is very difficult, very abstract. When Bhagavan was giving his teaching to the well-known devotee journalist Paul Brenton, he made a remark. He said, "This looks very difficult." Then Bhagavan said, "Why do you think so? It is a mere thought." See, it is only a thought. When you say it is difficult, it is only a thought. So why not think that it is easy? Sulabham. As Bhagavan himself puts it, Sulabham. Very simple. And it is very, very simple. See, Bhagavan's teaching is nothing but the Advaita Vedanta which Shankaracharya taught. But when you study Shankaracharya, there will be a pinch of fear that Shankaracharya is a big scholar, so much of debates, everything is there. Purva Paksha, Siddhanta, all these things are there. But when you come to Bhagavan, the same teaching, all the frills are cut. Non-essentials are all removed. And the essence, the cream alone is taken. And it is breathtakingly simple. There is an anecdote where Chadwick asked Bhagavan, is it so simple? See, that is a very interesting story. The story is not there in the books, many books, but Ganeshan has told this story, where Chadwick was one of the foremost, very close devotees of Bhagavan. And whoever comes to Bhagavan, even today, there is a process. When they naturally, see, people generally say Bhagavan never initiated. But I will say Bhagavan only initiates. Other gurus, they will give mantra, but all time it will not become effective. Sometimes when the guru gives the mantra, there is a phenomenon called Shaktipada. So they will say the Shaktipada happened, so the mantra becomes so easy, effective. But in Bhagavan's case, no mantra, directly Shaktipada only. So the process is activated. And mostly it happens like they come to Bhagavan's Samadhi, Sannidhi, there they get initiated. Many people it happens. Like magic it happens. Even casual things becomes a magic. Sometimes people come without knowing whose Samadhi it is there. See, I should not forget this story, so you remember that. So, people will come even without knowing whose Samadhi is there. So, about 7-8 years back, I was standing in front of Bhagavan's Samadhi. One couple came, perhaps coming for the first time, no idea about the place. So, that person asked the priest there, idudane Ramakrishna Paramahamsar Samadhi. He asked, is this Ramakrishna's Samadhi? He said, no, it is not Ramakrishna's Samadhi, it is Ramana Maharshi's Samadhi. And you know what he said? Rendu unnu thane. He said, see, we take everything like that, no? Highest thing you quote it somewhere, ella unnu thane, all same. Like that is, as we laugh, I also laughed. See, the impact is, like this, I have narrated this story to many people. Once I was narrating this story, yesterday the devotee was here, not yesterday, Sunday. Yesterday she was here. So, she told me, you were there at that time? She asked, yes. I said, this happened about 2 years back. And the incident happened about 6-7 years back. So she said, I was initiated from Ramakrishna Math. So I was chanting Ramakrishna mantra and going around Bhagavan's Samadhi. And suddenly a thought came to me, what am I doing? This is Ramakrishna mantra and I am chanting that Nama and going around Bhagavan's Samadhi. No connection at all. Like that a thought came. Suddenly this person came there and asked, this is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Samadhi. And also made the remark, both are same. See, after 6-7 years, I am getting the connection while narrating this. So this is spiritual magic. Ganeshana used to say, some English famous series film, very thriller film. You always used to say that, No. James Bond. He used to say that it is spiritual life is more thrilling than James Bond movie. Because many times such things happen around. So, this is something casual, but seriously people will get initiated in Bhagavan's Samadhi. When they come there, what we call self-enquiry, Atma Vichara, is stirred inside. A Swami who was in Uttarakanshi, Swami Chaitanyananda, he is a direct disciple of Swami Shivananda Saraswati. He is a very close friend of our KBS. So, very interesting story. One of the foremost and very enlightened disciples of Swami Shivananda he was. He alone became completely a recluse. He stayed with Swami Tapovan Maharaj and Brahma Prakash Swami and many Mahapurushas, studied there and stayed there in Uttarakanshi. So I was going through his biography. He belongs to Andhra Pradesh. From there he ran to Himalayas. He writes there, my first inspiration was to go to Tiruvannāmalai. I could have gone there and finished my life there. But instead I went to Rishikesh because Tiruvannāmalai is very near my village. So they will catch hold of me. And the devotee asks, why should you run away like this, afraid? Was there any death experience or some separation, some great sorrow? What inspired you? He said, I was not afraid of death. I was not afraid of ghost. I will go and sit in the cremation ground and meditate. But one thing I was very afraid. One day I dreamt that I am going to get married. And that was a horror. Next day I ran away from my house. And nobody should catch me, so I went to Rishikesh. So stayed in Rishikesh, Shivananda Ashram, became a very close disciple of Swami Shivananda. Very, very pure Vedantic scholar also. He, after so many years, comes to Tiruvannamalai and stays in ashram, and he says, so much of manana, nidhi, dhyasana, everything has been done. But Ramana ashram, when I come there, whole place is vibrating with who am I. So without any intention, any effort, that was going on like mantra inside me. As Kunju Swami has told, Sharadaka is here. I was there when they had that conversation, I think that conversation was there on that day also, that Shivaratri. So there, he told her that let children play here, let them make sound, don't curtail them, because the virus of Brahmajnana is here. The bacteria is there, it can catch hold of you. So that is the power of the place, the satsang, Mahapurusha Samparka, all these things are given so much importance. So, Chadwick. So Chadwick, generally, whoever comes to Bhagavan, the first few months or years is generally what we call grace period. What they call grace period is perfectly suitable here, because without any effort, you will have that meditative state. Inquiry will be going on inside. People will meditate. And people will deceptively think that they have attained. Nothing else to do. When lady told me, she came with so much ecstasy and she told me, now Swami, all over, all japam, everything is over now. Then I smiled. She said, why are you smiling? I said, I will tell you after 2-3 months. After 3 months, she told, now I know why you smiled. Because all those things went away. So the grace gives you, but you need power to hold it. Grace pours forth in abundance, but you also should have the patram, the vessel to fill, to absorb it, to keep it safe in your experience. So that is very important. So Chadwick, such a great soul, when he came to Bhagavan, before coming to Bhagavan, he had this Atma Vichara, a vague form of Vichara he was doing. So, after coming to Bhagavan also for 1 or 2 years, he was having that state. Then it faded away. Then he was feeling very sad. Perhaps I am not mature. It is all gone. And he was feeling very bad. People are taking me to be a saint, but I am not in that state. One day he decided to they all used to say everything to Bhagavan. So one day, when nobody else was there, he was sitting before Bhagavan and narrating his woe. That all this, that state I had is gone. See, this is also a lesson through which we have to go, because we think spirituality is a state. It is not a state. It is the truth. In talks, many places Bhagavan says this: Ananda is not something you experience. Ananda is the self. You have to recognize that Ananda is your Swarupa. Then it will not come and go. But anything that comes will go. Pokku varavu illa Poduveliyinil arul porattam katten arunachala. That which comes will go, because it is time bound. There was a time when it was not, there will be a time when it will not be. So anything that is truth should be always. And when you say it is always, the simplest thing is it should be now. If it is now, why I am not recognizing it? Because you are not looking at it. That's all. Paying attention to it. It should be now. So Chadwick felt like this barren state. See, this is a state through which every spiritual aspirant has to go. That is why we need a master who has gone through all these things. Sometimes Yoga Shastra, there you need help. Sometimes like these states will come. You need, someone should tell you this. You move like that. So, once, Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni was in a cave. He had some yogic experience. So that day he was suffering so much with that heat in his head. Bhagavan went there and gave him some upadesha, some guidance. Then while coming down, Bhagavan made a remark. He said, "Ivadukella ella irukka, namakku yaru irunda." He said, "Who were there for us?" So Chadwick one day narrated all his problems to Bhagavan. He says, I just round up everything and put it in Bhagavan's focus. And said, these are all my problems, Bhagavan. I feel it's all barren. Blankness. Bhagavan just looked at him. Chadwick thought Bhagavan will give him some guidance. Instead, Bhagavan looked at him and said, Chadwick, who is having this problem? A simple question. But every time Bhagavan uses this Brahmastra, it will be a perfect weapon. It's the same question which Bhagavan usually asks, but when he asks it, that moment, he just looked at Chadwick. Chadwick said, my ego, my personality at that moment was all these problems. So I have just taken every bit and put it before Bhagavan. And Bhagavan shot his bullet at that. He said, who is this person who is having this problem, this suffering? Who is saying, I have problem, I have not attained, I have not achieved. Who is this I? And there in this incident, you can see what the self-enquiry is. Because the ego, the I thought, which Bhagavan says, is the center in which the entire nervous system, the psyche, everything is just bound. That is why it is called Hridaya Granthi, the knot of the heart. Suppose if I insult somebody sitting, you have come here and sitting here, and I say, get out, who asked you to come to Satsanga? you feel affected. Who is affected? I am affected. I. And somebody is getting angry with you, somebody praises you, somebody insults you. I. And sometimes your stomach gets upset. Physically you get upset because that is the center of the system. And that Bhagavan just looked at that point and said, what is this? Chadwick said, I can just narrate this incident, but it was like I was stirred completely. Nadi mathana. Mathana means churning. Churning. All the entire nervous system was churned. And there was a terrific fear, and he ran back to his room, and he says there was a mysterious fear because I was afraid to face Bhagavan. If I go before him, he will ask who? And I will again come back to this state. So I was afraid to see Bhagavan. I stayed inside the room. After 2 days or so, he was taking bath. And he was poured water on his head. Ganeshana used to say he used to take bath in a tub, in a cemented tub. Toti. So there he felt suddenly a lightness that the ego is unreal. It is not a simple statement. He felt for that moment, I have made such a great problem of these things. There Bhagavan's statement, Ayye ati sulabham. He felt, it's all only this much. It's all gone. There was a total lightness, freedom. He rushed to Bhagavan's presence, and Bhagavan, as if was waiting for him, was sitting there, said, Bhagavan, is it so simple? Bhagavan said, yes, it is that simple. Avvalavadam. It is that simple. This is the story. So, when you find it, it is avvalavadam. Ayye ati sulabham atmavitte. The entire thing is to take the mind to the heart. The mind comes from the heart, spreads out. See, how does the mind spreads out? See, generally we say, the past karma cannot be undone. But is there a past? Because the mind comes out and just like a umbrella, it opens up as past this side and future that side. And the past is memory and future is imagination, expectation. Everything is just like a magic show and coming out. Like that the mind comes out and my life, the past, the future, everything comes out. The mind goes back to the heart in deep sleep. That is the experience which everyone can vouchsafe. Deep sleep, no past, no future, no now also. Because I was not conscious. There was a timelessness. You feel only now I slept. It is already 8 o'clock morning. Time is gone. So what is time? This is the song. This is the verse here. niha噚விணை பற்றி yiṛappedirvu நிற்க niharzkāl avaiyum nihaɁvē. niharzvoṇṭṛē yiṉฎுணmai தேராது இறப்பெதிர்வு tēravuṇal ஒன்று இன்றி எண்ண உணல். நிதமும் மன்னும் நிகழ்வினை பற்றி இறப்பு எதிர்வு நிற்க. Always holding on to the current of the present, that is now. The past and the future happen to exist. The past was true because it was present at that time. Anything when it happens, it can never happen in past or future. Happening experience is now. This teaching is very famous, as we said yesterday. Now people are all reading Power of the Now. That book is very well known. But here lies the seed of the teaching. Bhagavan's Ulladu Narpadu. It says, the past was true because it was present at that time. The future can be true only if it is present at that time. So experience is always present, always now. You can never experience the past. So many years, no. Last minute, no. Last second, no. Even the last second, I cannot experience. Gone. The future second, I cannot touch. Now, here, that is why the Upanishad says, if you realize here, it is true. If you miss it here, it is a great loss for eternity. Iha chedavedi tatha satyamasti na ched iha avedin mahati vinashtihi. The Upanishad says, Iha chedavedi. If you are able to realize it here, here means now, here, or that is truth. That means you have got it. That is why yesterday I told, Shankaracharya says in the Upanishad Bhashyam, there is only Sadhyo Mukti. Neither Jivan Mukti nor Videha Mukti. Sadhyo Mukti. You listen, now you get it. If you miss it now, you take notes, then you are missing it. That is why we generally say in satsang, don't take notes, don't write. At least now recording is also available, you need not write. At that moment, you receive it. And while receiving it, take the attention towards the listener, the one who hears, the eye. Let the attention stay riveted there. So, nihaழ்வினை பற்றி iṟappedirvu நிற்க. Yesterday we said, past, Bhagavan calls it as iṛappu. It is dead. The memory is useless. Imagination is also spiritually useless. See, the simple thing is, the mind knows only the past and future. You try to make the mind sit in the now, in the I am. It is like fire for it. It will not sit. Ask the mind to stay now. It will run away. Past, it is its pasture. It can go there, all memories. Future, we can imagine, dream, expect. But the now means, then the question comes, what is this now? Is it a time? Or we can say it is the only time. Both way you can say. If you say time is past, present and future, then it is difficult, because now is not like past and future. The present moment is aflame with consciousness. I am. Past is just past, you can delete, forget. Future also you can stop thinking, but the now does not mean this. When you say now, people can easily mistake it means stay in the now, means people think don't think about the past or future. It is not that. You just go and try to touch the now, then you find that the now is not made of time. As we said yesterday, the Nayayikas, they say it is the Paramanu, and deeper than Paramanu, Anoho Aniyan. It is the Atma, it is the Self, it is the Swarupa. So when you push the mind towards the now, nihaṛkālam. See, last time when Ganeshana was here, once in a while he remembers many anecdotes which he has not recorded. So one day morning when I went there to the guest house, he was waiting for me. He said, today I remembered one very profound anecdote where he said, one day Bhagavan was walking up the hill and T.P. Ramachandraya was with him. And TPR, they used to call him as TPR. TPR asked Bhagavan, one thing I am doubting is the karma that a person has performed. It is already done. How can it be undone? Generally, the Vedanta Shastra says when a person attains jnanam, his sanchita and agami karma will be deleted. But the person certainly has to undergo prarabdha. Prarabdha means that which has started giving fruit. Like the body has appeared, nothing can be done. New things you can stop. Things that are in the memory you can delete. But something which has solidly appeared before you, you cannot do anything. That is prarabdha. This is the usual argument. The example that they give is, you take an arrow, a bow, and you have shot it. You cannot take it back. It is staying in the quiver, you can destroy it. You have put it in the bow, that also you can leave, discard. But if you have already, if it has left the bow, you cannot do anything. Prarabdha is like that. So this is the usual thing. In another occasion, Bhagavan said, suppose the goal where the arrow has to hit, if it is not there, how will it affect? Asked. Because the arrow cannot hit anywhere, no place to hit. So it will just go and its momentum is over, it will fall. So Jnani's prarabdha is like that. So here TPR asked Bhagavan how to be free of the karma. Actually, I don't clearly remember that words used there, because suddenly I remembered that incident. So Bhagavan said, the answer I remember very much, which Bhagavan said, if you can from now onwards next moment, if you will not think about the next moment, do not bother about what happens in the next moment, all that will be cancelled. Then TPR asked, what about the past? Bhagavan said, if you give up the future, past will naturally go. When you know that the self alone exists, as the example given in the last Venba, like the Anigal Palabum Tam Pui Meyyam Ponnai Andri Undo Pugal. Like that, when you know that everything is self, the memory is also self, expectation and imagination is also the self, then it can do you no harm. It loses its reality. Just like the wave, eddies, everything is made of water. Like that, every thought, every emotion, everything that arises from consciousness, remains in consciousness and merges in consciousness, and it is nothing but that consciousness. Then it loses its separate identity. It no more is real to you. It is all nothing. The past is Brahman, the present is Brahman, the future is Brahman. The Upanishad begins like that, Mandukya Upanishad. Om ityetad aksharamidagum sarvam tasyopavyakyanam bhutam bhavat bhavishyaditi sarvam onkara eva yachanyatra kalatitam tadapi onkara eva. All that is Onkara. Onkara means the Atma, the self, the Swarupa. Bhutam bhavat bhavishyat. The past is Pranava, the present is Onkara, the future is Onkara, and that which is beyond the past, present and future, the Turiya Vastu, the transcendental, that is also this. So, nihaŕvoṇḍṛē yiṉṛuṇmai, we will come to this. This is the Mahavakya here. Bhagavan here says, what is now alone is true. Can you stay like that? That is what Bhagavan said to T.P. Ramachandraya. If you can stay now, in the now, the past, future, everything will be deleted. Because you will soon realize that the only reality that exists is this I am. As we saw in Brahma Sutra Bhashyam, in the beginning, where Shankaracharya says, I is light, everything is darkness. That's simple. This I am is light. And the first bluff is this mind. The mind alone which says past is there, future is there, something has happened. See, sometimes people get some disease like amnesia. They forget everything, all gone. No mother, no father, nothing. Very interesting things happened. One of our devotees, his mother, Kailasanathan, his mother had, if I say this doctor people are all there, they have to do research on that. She had 300 sugar. That was her level. And suddenly she lost her memory, amnesia. Sugar became normal. So the body is there in the mind, but it will not happen always. So in certain cases it happens like that. It's a mystery. The entire creation is in the mind. That is what Vedanta says. When the mind comes out, the body, world, everything comes out. When the mind disappears, everything disappears. And when the mind, so the mind is the magician inside. Adishaya Shakti, Bhagavan calls it Adishaya Shakti. Aniruktatma Shakti, as Bhagavatam puts it, Aniruktatma Shakti, indefinable force. It comes out and creates everything. The dream, sometimes you lie down and dream many things. It all looks real. When you wake up, nothing is there. And all the dream, what was it? It was all me. I am the stuff with which dream was made of. I am the stuff with which all the events, emotions, individuals in the dream happened. I am the stuff with which the mountains, the rivers, the sea, the splendorous sun that I have seen in the dream, all was made by me. I alone was there. This is simple Advaita, that's all. Only one thing is there which becomes everything. And time also, the dream time. What is the dream time? It is me. I am the dream time. Bhuta bhavya bhavat prabhu, Vishnu Sahasra. He is the Bhuta, he is the Bhavya, it is the Bhavat. So, nihaŕviṇai paṭṛi yiṛappedirvu, the past, the future, all depend on the present moment. Because time is actually only present moment. Last present moment, future present moment. Every experience happens in the now. So here Bhagavan says, nihaŕviṇai paṭṛi yiṛappedirvu. The past and future, they hold on to the now. nihaṛkāl avaiyum nihaṛvē. When the past was happening, it was now. If the future has to be real, it should be now. No past can be real. No future can be real. Only the present moment can be real. The recorded present moment is past. The imaginary present moment is future. The real now, reality is only now, and that is, Bhagavan says, it is like one. The number one. Entire mathematics, Bhagavan simplifies it. He said, it is only one. Even mathematics, only one. No two. 1 plus 1, 1. 1 plus many, 1. Nothing to study. No complexities. The moment KVS used to say, some person used to say, 0 is very great relief. 1, okay. 2 is too complex. Used to say 2 is too complex. 0 is great relief. See, the greatest contribution for mathematics by Indians is 0. Puja. And I am yet to get the answer. What is the difference between 0 and 1? Yesterday I asked. Because if 1 alone is there, why don't you call it 0? Why should you call it 1? Because if 1 is not accepted, 0 plus 0 cannot be 2. You have to do a blunder. So you have to accept the 1. And 0, how many zeros you add, it is 0. It is Advaita. I, all I. Loṉṛிணṛi eṇṇal. Bhagavan says, leaving 1, how can you count? All counting happens because you create the first error. That is, you should have finished mathematics by 0, just like many students do. 0. And put 1, then you can add like that. So, that 1 is this moment, now. And you know, there is no mystery in it. There is no mystery in it because the now, that is ippo inge, this vartamanam is the pure self, it is the pure consciousness, it is nirvana. When you touch the now here, it is the now of Bhagavan, Ramana, it is the now of Shankaracharya, it is the now of Buddha, it is the now of any animal, bird, plant, rock, everything. That is why I said there is no mystery in it. When you touch it, you are touching that Supreme alone. And the entire creation is there in that now. Only thing that the mind, like a storm, like a wind, comes and goes and waves and creates all names and forms, dust of doubts, darkness of ignorance, emotions, clouds of emotions. Misunderstanding like smoke. Remove all that, it is crystal clear sky. Then now that you can experience, go deep down into yourself and find, is same which any great sage can find. It is all same. So that Shuddha Chaitanya is revealed, that pure consciousness is revealed here now. And this is infinity. When you touch it now, you can extend it. Next now, pratibodha viditam matam amrtatvam hi vindate. Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate amrtam. Pratibodha viditam matam amrtatvam hi vindate. Bodham prati viditam. Every moment you take the mind inward and make it abide in the now, in the vartamanam, chit, swarupa. And for eternity is same. It is actually the only element of time, and it is no time also. Because the moment you come and touch it, there is no time. Or you can say it is the only time. And Kala is one form of Bhagavan. Kala, Swabhava, Desha, Kala, Nimitta, all these things are said. So here, Vedanta Vichara enters into a fascinating realm of insight in this shloka. In the previous verse, Bhagavan has revealed the importance of the first person, the I thought. Tanmai undel munnilai padarkkaigal taamudavam. If you have the I, you, he, everything comes. Tanmayin unmayinai taanaindu tanmayarin. Enquire within, what is this I? What is this I? And when you turn inward and seek the nature of I, then you find that the I thought is not real, and what exists there is pure consciousness, Shuddha Chaitanya. In the same source, the same center, you go by probing into the now also. Though the first person also is a thought like the second and third persons. Only by probing into the I can one touch the source. That is shown with certitude by Bhagavan. And now, In this verse, Bhagavan comes and touches the another aspect, another dimension, that is time. So all these things we have plumbed very deep. There is a poem. See, Bhagavan always remained in that timeless now. Somebody asked Bhagavan, there is an anecdote where Bhagavan Ramana was there in the old hall. One devotee one day asked, today's Janmashtami, so like that, some special day. So he was asking about the tithi. What is the tithi? And for that Bhagavan replied, I am not even sure whether it is day or night. Often I am very doubtful whether it is day or night. About his stay in Gurumurtha, Bhagavan used to say, sometimes I open, it is day, sometimes it is night, sometimes days would have passed. How can I say whether it is Chaturthi or Ekadashi? Chaturdashi or Ekadashi or Chaturthi, I very much doubt whether it is day or night. Sometimes when the eyes were open, it would be day, and sometimes it would be night. At times even an entire day would have passed. So this is the state of Samadhi. We have a poem in this verse. The poem name is Time. The mind is a pendulum which swings between past and future. It is a cloud which covers the brilliance of the divine orb. To be free of time is to be free of the mind. Know that the now alone is. Past and future are the cobweb the mind weaves. Do not believe your mind, listen to the divine whisper. In between the thoughts, listen to the voice I am. I is the ever ringing mystic syllable, the mantra. Go deep and find this ever rolling inner rosary within. I am is another name for liberation. It is neither in the past nor in the future. It is the eternal self which is here now. Be aware of the truth eternal, the present moment. It is self, it is God, it is the timeless, immeasurable. So, we are going very slowly. It's again 15th verse. Only tomorrow we will be able to see 16th verse. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Yato mamatma bhavasi tvameva, tato na vachyam mama kinchidasti, yatha taveshtam kurumam tathaiva, Tvam Atmanatham Ramanam Bhajami.